Now would you date me?
I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. Feel just like a rock star. I've been popping.
Okay, fam, let's check this weight. 169. Basically down exactly a pound. I actually hit 186. 168.6. That was my lowest. But then 169, I've seen it a bunch of times on the scale. So, you guys, I think I'd realistically be lighter, but I didn't really get good sleep last night. Definitely need to cough. I want to go back to sleep. But that's what bitches. We got macros to hit. Training to do. The Zeke updates to show. Fuck shit up today. I still do instant, but I don't fuck with this shit anymore. 4 to 5 grams, just like I told you guys. I at least just poured like 3 grams in there, and then that doesn't do anything. Really? That did something. Y'all know I fucks with the liquid one. This is way better than the powdered one. Why does it look like that? That definitely needs to go back in. Like 30 seconds. Holy fuck, I'm gonna starve. But then again, that's okay, because what I'm doing is a controlled form of starvation. The less food I have, the easier it'll be for me to starve, in theory. Best thing, guys, throw the actual egg container on here and just let it subtract. I usually do 200 to 250, somewhere in this. 217. That's some bullshit right there. This is supposed to be a good pan. It's pretty much kind of like a fail, which means I'm not going to cook the freaking bread in the bacon grease. Well, I cook the eggs in the bacon grease, but I'm not going to put the bread in there, which would taste good too, so. This is kind of... You guys can actually kind of like make one of these. This past week, guys, the car's so loud I went to go turn on the volume just now to like turn down the loudness of the car. So this past week, guys, I was feeling pretty shitty, pretty fucking sick. Yeah, I have pretty damn good willpower because I've been through these diet phases plenty of times, but there are times when you're just like, ugh. But good thing for me, like, my stress response isn't food. To tell you the truth, I don't even think I know what my stress response is. I'd have to really think back to what it is. Keep my mind with something else, like doing fun stuff like this right here. Managed to just keep on track, stay on track with my numbers, because I want to be as transparent with this experience as possible for you guys, because you guys who are consuming this content, I want you guys to know what it's like, the ins and outs, the do's and the don'ts, so that if you decide to try this on your own, you have the best possible tools at your disposal. And I know most of you guys, myself included, most of my training career and most of your training careers, for those of you who are watching, are probably going to train not being coached. So I feel having good information now, not just good information in terms of the person giving you that information being well educated, but the person who's giving you that information has had that experience and have gone through it multiple times. I'm going to be just very transparent, so any of you guys or gals who are trying to do this, who want to cut, you have a very good idea of how to do it in a balanced and healthy way. So you don't drive yourself insane, you don't drive yourself into the ground with training, you don't kill yourself in terms of life stresses. How I balance it, and hopefully you can get some value of how I balance it and what my structure and my setup is like, so it can help you guys out. With that being said, let's get this posing update in 3, 2, 1.
Maybe you should take it slow.
guys, we are back. I really hope you guys enjoyed episode 1, and I wanted to first off, before anything, thank you so much for joining me again, that you're taking your time out of your day to watch my video. It just means the world to me. You guys are freaking awesome. All right, let's get this started. This was the start of a new training block, and also obviously just this was week 2 of my my cut. So basically my estimated training max is 390 pounds, so this is 70% of that, roughly 70%. It'd be 273 and change, but I don't have like those little calibrated plates at this gym, plus it's no big deal. So 70% of that, and I'm hitting this for 2 sets of 8 reps. And yep, it's only 2 sets, because at the beginning of a training block, if you really want to do well and not hit stalls and progress, start with slightly less volume than you actually know you can do, guys. You should always do that. Think about the cluster of weeks rather than just the single workout. You get more hypertrophy from the cluster of weeks, the cluster of months, the clusters of years, right? The mesocycles, the macrocycles, not the mini microcycles of training, okay? Microcycles is usually like 1 to 2 weeks. Mesocycle would be like 6 to 8, you know what I mean? Or 4 to 6, and a macrocycle would be like a year. Okay, so that was just 2 sets of 8 reps. That's probably going to finish with like 5 sets of like 8 to 10 reps by the end of the training block. So it's be a lot more volume and somewhat more intensity. Okay, so because I only did 2 sets, I actually threw the leg press in so I could get in more volume. Normally I would do a reverse lunge on this day, but since I want to get more quad hypertrophy in there, more quad hypertrophy and more quad volume to make up for it, I threw the leg press in there because I can get obviously more volume in with the leg press than you can get in with the lunge. And not only that, the lunge involves extension at the hip like the squat. So I don't want any extension at the hip, because I want to let my hips not get so beat up, especially being on a caloric deficit. Recovery can be an issue. So you switch to something like this, get your extra volume in for your quads, problem taken care of. So I just hit 3 sets of that right there. Then the lying leg curl. I actually really love the lying leg curl. In the past, and up till recently, I didn't do it much. But if you really do honestly want to work all heads of the hamstring, you need knee flexion in there. So, in fact, what I'm going to be putting on my other leg day, which you guys are going to see in more than likely the next episode, is going to be the glute ham raise. That's probably second to the RDL, my second favorite hamstring movement, and this is probably like a close third. So yeah, threw those leg extensions in there, then reverse hyper extensions. Guys, I cannot stress enough how good these are for lower back health. I don't care what your goal is. If you have one of these in your gym, use it. Please use it. It makes the world of difference, and it'll just keep your back healthy. It'll keep you recovering much quicker. So and then we just got some calf raises in. I'm trying to do a lot of volume on this because genetically that's a pretty big weak point for me. And if I ever want to get on stage again, I don't want to lack in that department. Sometimes I use some pause sets at the very top. And boom, I come down. But I'm not looking too bad. We're down 1 pound this week, and we made some pretty damn good progress. A couple of things. I don't know if you guys can hear me clearly. I hope you can, or else I'm doing this video for nothing. What should you be doing in terms of cardio? Let's start off with recovery. When you select your cardio piece of equipment that you want to do on a weekly basis, if you want to maximize performance in the gym, choose something that doesn't have interference. What I mean by that is, I'm currently walking. I could have chose the Stairmaster, I could have chose the elliptical, it doesn't really matter. But choosing a piece of equipment, we'll use the Stairmaster for example, would have more interference to weight training than this would. Why? Because I don't normally, some people walk up a bunch of stairs every day in real life, which would be an appropriate choice of equipment for them because they do that, they've adapted to that. So you want to choose something that you've already adapted to. Because when your body has to adapt to a movement, it takes up some recovery because it's hard. If I go in the Stairmaster, and I walk for 200 calories or X amount of minutes, my legs then get more sore than when I do this. Goal isn't to get my legs sore, by definition, correct? So you don't want that interference effect going on. So I chose a piece of equipment that doesn't have interference. We walk around every single day, so it's not gonna be an issue. Hence why I chose this. Now, if I were to choose this and put it on like a 15 incline, and then maybe increase the speed a little bit, I'm probably gonna have some interference. Am I gonna have some fat loss, maybe a little bit more fat loss? Yes. But the goal is to have fat loss, not at the cost of interference and recovery, because you want to be able to maintain mechanical tension in the gym, intensity in the gym, so you hang on to muscle mass, because you want to look good. You want to look like a competitive bodybuilder. I want to look like a competitive bodybuilder at the end of this cut, not a competitive dieter. In terms of the caloric deficit, when you guys create the caloric deficit, what you want to do is create a certain amount of calories from the deficit from your food and a certain amount from your cardio. If you go all food, what's that going to do? You'll probably have a little bit more fat loss, but you're basically starving yourself down sooner. You're gonna make it harder to adhere to the diet. This is for most people. Again, what you choose in terms of how much of the deficit comes from food, if not all of it, how much comes from cardio, if not all of it, is based off of yourself. It's off of self-awareness. If you're an eater, then you're probably gonna wanna take a little bit less from your food and take a little bit more and add a little bit more to your cardio. Somebody who's like, I don't wanna give up any of the food at all, you're a foodie, you like to eat, do a little bit more cardio. Whichever one is gonna allow you to adhere longer to the diet, because again, it's about doing it consistently long enough to see that difference. So for me, I'm neither. I take some from both. I basically took 2,750, I'm gonna put it all on the screen, 2,750 calories, more or less was my maintenance, between 2,750 and 2,800, and I'm making roughly a 300 calorie deficit. 200 calories are coming from food, like 210 or something like that, and the other 90 to 100 are coming from this low intensity cardio. The weekly average creates a 300 calorie daily deficit, which is not that bad. It's very easy. I've already lost roughly about a pound, just over, I think. So, and that works for me. I'm not stressed out, I'm not tired, I'm not hungry. I'm smooth sailing. You gotta do what works for you. And again, it's not that biologically we're all so different, it's psychologically we're all very different, right? Emotionally, we're all very different. Set your diet and cardio up based off of you, based off of your psychology, based on how you get emotionally, based on your self-awareness. That's just a quick tip I wanted to give you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me this week. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come back again and watch episode 2. It means the world to me. If I was with you right now, I would dap you up, I would work out with you, we would be homies. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you guys like the video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Make sure you give it a share. You know what? In fact, how about this? For every single one of you guys that actually shares my video on your Facebook, tag me in it and I will send you a copy of the hypertrophy program I am using in this cutting series. That's right. So you share my video on your Facebook. Tag me so that I see the share, and also make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. That's a must too. But tag me just so I see the share, and I will send you a copy in Google Docs of my hypertrophy program. Free. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.